Hello everyone. I'm coming with a topic that is essential elements of a partnership. So the last three elements I have discussed in my last video, that is the first one was a contract, and second was the association of two or more persons, and third elements I have discussed that was the carrying on a business. And now today I am discussing the fourth essential elements. It's a very important and very vital, that is sharing of profits. So as from the definition we said there must be a sharing of the profits of a business. Now, so the agreement to carry on the business must be with the object of sharing the profits among all the partners. So business are carrying, but their object must be to share the profits among all the partners. Now sharing of losses is required or not, we will see it. Now sharing of losses not necessary. So to this heading we have to say, to constitute partnership, it is not essential that the partners should agree to share the losses. So to have a partnership, there should not be an essential that they must share the losses. So partners should not agree to share the losses. Now point to be noted here that even though the partner may not share in the losses of the business, in a partner they are not sharing the losses in the business, losses of the business in the partnership, but yet his liability and as well as the outsiders shall be unlimited, because there cannot be limited liability or limited partnership in our country under the Partnership Act. So that is, they said, though they are not sharing the losses, but their liability and as well the outsiders' liability, right, towards the firm shall be unlimited, because there cannot be limited partnership in our country. So at that point of time of 1932 Act, so there was no limited liability partnership. There was only an unlimited one. So that is why this latest amendment made it, that is LLP, that is called limited liability partnership, because it was a requirements that to make the liability that is unlimited to limited one, whereby it can be at the footing of Companies Act. So that is why, to keep at the pace with the Companies Act, so partnership has made an amendment and they said there should be a limited one. Okay, so now at the present partnership, the liability will be always a limited one. Now sharing of profits is not conclusive test. So though we say the definition of the partnership, we say that sharing of the profits of a business is important, but that is not a conclusive test. So although the sharing of profits is an evidence of partnership, so we have shared the profits, that means it is very well we can say that legally it is a partnership, but this is not the conclusive test of partnership. We cannot say that is a conclusive test. Sharing of profit means we should say it is a partnership. No, it is not a conclusive test. So there may be person sharing the profits of a business, but who does not by that reason become partner. So there are persons who are sharing the profits of a business, but who cannot by this reason become a partner. They cannot say that by this sharing of the profits they will become a partner in a firm. We cannot say that. So this is not a conclusive test that sharing of profits is a, you can be a partner in a firm. We cannot say that is a conclusive test. Now we are coming to a next element, that is a very important elements to be present in a partnership firm, is the mutual agency. Now what is mutual agency? We will see the very definitions of our partnership under the section 4. It says the business must be carried on by all the partners or any of them acting for all. That is, there must be mutual agency. So it says that business must be carried on by all. All will be carrying the business, or any of them acting for all the partners. That is, so there is a, what is present? The mutual agency is present. So either all of them will be working or anyone will be for all others they will work. That is called mutual agency. Thus, every partner is both an agent and principal for himself and other partners. So, every partner, that is why he is an agent and principal for himself or other partners. So, he may be an agent or he may be a principal for himself or and the other partners. That is, he can bind by his acts all the other partners. Whatever he will do it, he can make bind the other partners. He will say that I am working for all others. By this, he can make them responsible for the acts he has done and can be bound by the acts of other partners in the ordinary course of business. And he can be also bound. He will be liable for the acts done by the other partners as well in the ordinary course of business. Now, to test whether a person is a partner or not, how to judge it, how to see it, he is a partner or not. So, it should be seen among other things. So, we have to see among all other things how to see it, that he is a partner in a firm or not, how to see it. Whether or not element of agency exists, we have to see that we have discussed about the mutual agency, that element is present or not. We have to see whether the business is conducted on his behalf. So we have to see whether the business is doing by one for all others. That should be seen. Then we can say he is a partner in the firm, because that should be present. Mutual agency, that means agency elements must be present. The importance of the elements of mutual agency lies in the fact that is why we said why it is important, the fact that it enables every partner to become or to carry on the business on behalf of the all other partners. So if it is there, that mutual agency is there, then it will make every partners to carry on the business on behalf of others. Each one will be carrying the business on behalf of the others. If these elements are present, that is called mutual agency is present, then you can very well say that he is a partner in a firm, because he is acting on behalf of the all others. That should be present. Now we have to see that the law of partnership is governing the relation of the partners inter se. Law of partnership, they are governing the relations among partners and with the outside world, is an extension of the law of agency. And each of the partners will be liable for the third parties because of the principle that is of law of agency. Now, in one of the cases, the principle has been derived. So, the case is Cox versus Hickman. In this case, it was observed that the law as to partnership is a branch of the law of the principal and agent. So the law that is of the partnership, it is a branch of the law. So it came from what? That is the law on the principal and agent. So therefore, the liability of one partner for the acts of his co-partner is in truth. So if one is working for the other co-partners, then his liability in reality, in truth, is the liability of a principal for the acts of his agent. So that is called agency elements. He will be working for the other, that is why he will be liable as a principal for the acts of his agent. Where two or more persons are engaged as partners in an ordinary trade. So two or more persons are there engaging in an ordinary trade. Each of them has an implied authority. Each one will be having an implied authority from the others. So it is implied. There is an authority given by the others to act for them. Then to bind all the other partners by contracts enter into according to usual course of business in that trade. So if two or more has been working on behalf of the or acts done on behalf of the, it is implied that You can bind the other partners for the acts you have done because you have the authority, right? So all will be liable for the acts done by the two or more persons because they have entered into a contract according to the usual course of business in that trade. So this is the very important principle which is involved in a partnership, that is a mutual agency. Without having this mutual agency elements, it cannot have or it cannot constitute a partnership firm. So this is my discussions for today's, and I have completed the essential elements to constitute a partnership firm. These are all total 5 elements to form a partnership firm, and it's very important. So till then, keep watching my videos, and next video I'm coming with the very important discussions will be there, that is test of partnership. How to test it is a partnership or not, and how we will call the firm and firm name and firm business, that I will define in my next video. Till then, keep watching, and if anyone is not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it. I'm coming with a many details topic, very detailed provisions I am going to make it under the Partnership Act.